Okay, hello Marcela, hello Javier, hello Juan. Welcome to the class. Good evening. How are you today?
Good evening, teacher. Hello.
Hello Javier, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Well, I am a little tired, but not bad. I could say everything is fine. Thank you.
Okay, that's something great. I'm so happy to know that, well, to see you in our class. And I hope that you can relax in a moment so you can take a short time to relax after classes. So thank you for being here. What about you, Juan? What about you, Marcela? How are you today?
Hello, teacher. Good
Hello.
evening. Fine, thank you.
Okay, that's something good. Thank you for coming, everybody. It's time to start with our class. Juan, hello, how are you today?
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the class. Okay, everybody. In this opportunity, we are going to, well, first of all, guys, let me tell you that we are going to start with our class. Just guys, as a reminder, remember that this is the last week of classes that we have in this lab. Okay, so I hope we can practice, also we can learn, and well, let's take advantage of time, guys. It is pretty good to start the week, and guys, I want to I want to show you my screen. I want to share my screen with you, so then we can start with our activities for today. Okay, everybody, as you can see today, we will start our class talking about the following question. What's a crazy invention you know? As you know, guys, there are many inventions that, well, all inventions are made because sometimes we need to do things in an easier way. So that's why we have a lot of inventions. But there are some crazy inventions, guys, that maybe we could say that, well, we don't know, we don't actually know why they were made or why they were invented, but it's good to have some examples, okay? Right now, tell me, what's a crazy invention you know? For example, guys, I can tell you about one crazy invention I have seen just in videos, and it's about a little fan for the chopsticks. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, give me a second. Okay. For example, everybody, I think this is a crazy invention, a chopsticks fan, because it is, well, the use of this fan, everybody, it's um, to cool things, and you can eat better. Well, in this case, to eat kind of a Chinese, I don't remember the name of this Chinese food. But as you can see,
Noodles.
guys, but as
Noodles.
you, oh, the noodles, right? So, but as you can see, everybody, we could say that they are noodles. So as you can see, the use of this fan, everybody, is to cool things so you can eat easier and quicker. Okay, now can you tell me about one crazy invention you know? Well, to start with this part, let's pay attention to our lady. Marcela, what's a crazy invention you know?
Mm, I don't know anything, teacher. I don't remember. Crazy
You
invasion.
don't remember any? Okay, don't worry. But please think about one, okay? Let's see now, Javier. Do you know a crazy invention, or do you remember about any crazy invention?
Well, I don't remember. I don't know.
You don't remember? Okay, what about you, Juan? Do you remember any crazy invention?
Mm, Well, in my opinion, all the things that we know as invention are crazy, right? Because they started with a with a with a project, right? If you notice, when the first airplane tried to fly, uh, for people in those in that time, it was a crazy invention, right?
Yeah.
That for me, well, in my case, there are inventions that doesn't necessary, in my opinion, right? That's a fun stick, right? It's not necessary because well, Asian people likes to eat her their food so heat. This is the well, I think this is the best option. They prefer to eat in that way. But well, in my case, a Christian invention in here in El Salvador could be a bike motorcycle. It's like a bike and you put an engine. It's a crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because the bike you need to paddle the bike. But you add a engine, you don't need paddle. You don't need paddle, right? So in my case, it could be uh, a crazy invention here in El Salvador.
Well, Juan, thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for sharing your opinion about it. You are right when you mentioned that, well, all inventions are crazy in a specific moment, right? As you mentioned, okay, there are some inventions that were um all people thought that they
They
were
are crazy.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
because, well, you mentioned the example of the airplane, which is a great example because nowadays you know how useful an airplane is, for transportation, also for well, for commercial things. So as you can see, this maybe by that time it was crazy. Nowadays it's really useful. But as you mentioned, Juan, okay, well, my example was kind of crazy and unnecessary, which is the chopstick fan. And the other that you mentioned, Juan, it's also interesting because I didn't remember about those bikes that some people made them kind of a bike motorcycle. But it's great to
It's
know about
crazy.
it and to remember this idea. Javier, do you have anything to say? Did you remember
Uh,
anything?
no, well, I am thinking about the topic. And
Uh-huh.
for example, I don't know, I think it could be a crazy invention. For example, the submarine that made tricks in the sea for to see the Titanic.
Okay, that was something crazy. That was a crazy, not invention, because well, actually the submarines are they are useful. But the thing is, what's the purpose that we give to to those things, right? To those inventions. So that was something crazy, guys. Sadly, that they have that accident, but it was something that they should be prepared for. Well, today we have Brian over here in the class. Thank you for sharing with us, Javier, about that thing. As I mentioned, right, it was something, not a crazy invention, but it was, sadly, they were not prepared for that situation. Brian, today we're talking about crazy inventions. I show you about one, a chopstick fan, which help you to have your food cooler. so then you can eat your food. Then Juan mentioned the bikes that people made or people make, or they try to change a bike to a motorcycle. So it's kind of a mix of both. Can you tell me about a crazy invention you know, Brian?
I don't know. Hi, teacher.
Hi.
Let me think. Is anything or or a specific uh, big crazy invention in the world?
Or about any crazy invention in the world.
Okay. For me, right?
Yes, for you.
And maybe the internet.
Okay. Why the
For me,
internet is a crazy invention?
because the last field is different than there because internet is a revolutionary totally the people in the world. The new generation internet is totally crazy. You need a smartphone. You need a internet for a working TV, working for internet. Every electronic you need using internet is for me this is crazy because all people depending on internet in the world.
Okay, that's another great opinion, Brian. Thank you for sharing about it. Actually, I have never thought about it, and it's kind of crazy that all of the people can use internet almost in the same way. But even though you are in a different country, well, if you go to another country, so you can use internet. So all the information, it's on the internet. If you want to look for something, so you can find it over there. So it's kind of crazy, but it's also useful. In this case, it's something really useful, but it's crazy. We can take into account. Thank you, Brian, for your comment about it. We can take into account what Juan mentioned at the beginning of the class, that all of the inventions are crazy in a specific moment. But little by little, these inventions help us to do different actions or to complete different activities. So, well, guys, thank you for your opinions about crazy inventions. Some of them are really useful, and some of them are really important for people. For example, the internet, for example, the airplanes, as we mentioned. But also, guys, there are some unnecessary inventions, such as the motorcycle bike, which is a mix of both, and also the chopstick fan. And there are even more that maybe we can take into account or we can see in some other places. But today, everybody, why do I ask you about inventions? It's because today, everybody, we will talk about gerunds versus infinitives, okay? In this opportunity, guys, we will learn what are gerunds and what are infinitives. Maybe you know about it, so you will help me with our sentences or our examples during the class. To start with this part, I want to listen to Javier. Javier, can you help me reading this information, please?
Okay, gerunds versus infinitives. We use gerunds and infinitives to talk about the purpose and uses of something. Uh, I use my cell phone to send messages. People use cell phones for sending messages.
Very good. As you can see, we have two sentences. Actually, the two sentences are the same. They have the same idea. But something good about it, everybody, is that we can use gerunds and infinitives to talk about the purposes and uses of something, okay? We will learn today, everybody, we will learn how to use infinitives and how to use the gerunds according to the purpose or according to the context of each sentence. So right now, everybody, let's start with the first part. First of all, guys, let's remember, what are gerunds? Brian, in your own words, tell me, what are gerunds?
the reading, write the screen.
Oh, in your own words.
Okay. For example, for me,
Okay, yeah, you can. You can give me an example.
I don't understand. Sorry. You
Okay,
need.
in your own words, in your personal words, what are gerunds?
Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know,
Okay.
teacher. This was the Miss Gerunds.
Okay, Juan, in your own words, what are gerunds?
Gerunds are all the verbs that you add ing, right?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's right. Well, guys, it is kind of difficult to understand this definition or this word because we are not used to see this word in well, in grammar actually, because we learned, for example, we learned present progressive and we use the verbs in ing, okay, or we use the verbs in present participle. I don't know, guys, but gerunds, it's another way in which we use that we can use at the moment of talking about the verbs in ing. And this opportunity, guys, we are going to use anytime or most of the time when we use the preposition for, then we have to use a verb in ing or we have to use a gerund. For example, in the first part, we see for sending, for sending. Okay, so whenever we have everybody an example about, well, when we are talking about a purpose of something, we use for or to. But in this case, everybody remember, anytime we use for, then we use a gerund or a verb in ing. Then we have infinitives. This is kind of simple because infinitives are all the verbs in base form. As gerunds are verbs in ing, infinitives are all the verbs in base form. But in this case, everybody, we add the word to. Anytime or most of the time when we use to, the preposition to, then we use a verb in base form. Let's go back to the first example and we have to send messages. Okay, so as you can see, for and to have their same or their own kind of verbs that they have to use. But also, guys, even though we use gerunds and infinitives to talk about uses, also, guys, they have a little difference. So right now, let's pay attention to it. First of all, guys, pay attention to gerunds. Please, okay, Brian, help me reading this information about gerunds.
Okay, teacher. Gerunds. We generally use gerunds to talk about the purpose or function of a object. Example, this machine is used for cleaning cars. Second example, a hair dry is for drying hair.
Okay, very good, Brian. Thank you for your help. As you can see, everybody, in this opportunity, we have gerunds, or we are talking about gerunds. We use gerunds to talk about the purpose or function of an object. In this case, guys, we are talking about the objects in general. Look at the picture, the first picture, everybody. Actually, I don't know what's the name of this object, but what is the use of that machine? That machine is used for cleaning cars. All the machines that are the same, all of them have the same use. All of them have the same purpose. That's why, everybody, we use ing when talking about objects, an object in general, right? An object in general. Example number 2, look at this picture. This is a hair dryer. What is the main function or what is the obvious function of this object? For drying hair. We are talking about all the hair dryers in general. And that's why, everybody, we talk about, or we use ing, or we use gerunds when talking about all those objects in general. Okay, if you want to talk about for example, a marker, if you want to talk about your cell phone in general, well, a cell phone in general, so general functions, so then everybody, we can use for and gerunds, okay? When talking about an object in general. Then everybody, we have the use of infinitives. Please, Marcela, help me reading this information.
Okay. We use infinitive to express the purpose of an action or the reason why we do something. For example, I use a hair dryer to dry my hair. And also I play video games to relax.
Nice. Thank you, Marcela, for reading. In this opportunity, guys, well, we are talking about, again, we are talking about the purpose of an action, in this case, of an action. But we are talking about the purpose, everybody. Look at this, the purpose. And something that it's different from gerunds, everybody, is that we use infinitives to talk about or to express the reason why we do something. In this case, everybody, it's more specific because we are talking about our purposes, the use we give to different objects. For example, you know that cell phones, everybody, well, a cell phone is used for sending messages, is used for making phone calls, is used for taking pictures. I don't know. A cell phone can have a lot of functions. But what is the main function you use your cell phone for? For example, someone can tell me, I use my cell phone to take pictures. I don't make phone calls, or I hardly ever make phone calls, or I hardly ever listen to music on my cell phone. The main activity or the main action I do on my cell phone is to take pictures. In that case, everybody, we are talking about the purpose or the reason why we do something. So we are talking about something specific about us, okay? As you know, well, I put this example of a cell phone, guys. As you know, a cell phone has different functions, but we use infinitives, guys, to talk about the main function you use this object or the cell phone for. As an example, guys, we have, I use a hair dryer to dry my hair. Of course, that's the obvious use of that object. But also, guys, we can give another use to a hair dryer. For example, I don't know, guys. In some cases, we can use a hair dryer to dry other things. For example, to dry a clothes, or in this case, we also have the iron. But we have a we can dry clothes, or we can dry books, or something that we need to dry. Then everybody, okay, this is kind of obvious, right? As I mentioned, this is kind of obvious because it's a hair dryer. The function or the main function I use it for is to dry my hair. But then everybody, we have another example that maybe we can have different purposes. For example, I play video games to relax. Now, I want to ask some of you. Javier, do you play video games?
Yes, of course. I really like playing video games.
Okay, why do you play video games?
First, I like, and then for relax.
Okay, to relax. To relax, nice. Okay, that's a good thing. What about you, Marcela? Do you play video games?
I really not.
You don't play video games. Okay, don't worry, not no problem. Okay. What about you, Brian? Do you play video games?
Actually, no. But when I was a kid, yes, I
Yeah.
have to play video games.
Okay, that's really nice. And why did you play video games?
The last video game the play is uh W Mario Kart and the games GameCube.
Oh, in a GameCube. And why did you play video games? For example, Javier said that he played video games to relax. And what about you, Brian?
When I was a kid, I like it so much. Play video games. Actually, I I maybe save the cash because I need a buy because I miss the play video game with my friends the Friday of the night because for me it's a good moment. You can fun and it's a no play video games for me are very excited the moment.
Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, Brian, thank you for letting me know about that. But you mentioned something important, okay? Well, Javier also said that he played video games because he liked. But also, guys, we have something interesting. As you can see, some of us have different uses or different purposes of playing video games. Oh, I play video games to relax. Brian played video games to have fun. Javier play video games to relax. Maybe another person can tell me, I play video games to spend time, okay? To spend time with friends. With friends, okay? So we have different purposes of playing video games, okay? When we are talking about something in specific, guys, or our specific reason or our specific purpose, so then everybody, we use infinitives, okay? Again, I can give you the example of a cell phone, guys. For example, I gave a lot of examples for making calls, for listening to music, for taking pictures. We are talking about purposes or functions in general. But if we talk about our purpose, our reason, in that case, everybody, we cannot use gerunds, or it's not correct to use gerunds. It's better to use infinitives to relax, to have fun, to spend time with friends. Then everybody, this is something you have to remember, and it's when we are talking about specific actions we do, in some cases, we cannot use gerunds. For example, guys, why are you learning English? Or why do you learn English? Oh, in this case, guys, we are not talking about all people in general, right? So in that case, we talk about our own experience. Oh, I learn English to have a better job. I learn English to, I don't know, guys, to travel to another country. So then, as you can see, we have different reasons, different purposes. That's why, everybody, in infinitives, we have this short explanation. Express the purpose of an action, as I said before. Why do you learn English? If you can use why in your question, guys, so in that case, everybody, it's better if we use infinitives. So why do you learn English? What do you use a hair dryer for? Or why do you use a hair dryer? As you can see, guys, if we can use why and you in a question, guys, so in that case, everybody, we are talking about infinitives, or we are using infinitives, right? Let's see. In this moment, guys, we are going to practice. But first, Do you have any question about infinitives and gerunds? No questions?
It's so clear.
It's clear, okay? I think,
Because
guys, this is kind of, well, this is not difficult at all. It's just something that we have to remember, and that we have to make the difference between when we use for and when we use to, okay? Very good. In this case, everybody, you have the following. Give me a second, guys. Okay, we have 10 examples, okay? I will give you 1 minute and a half to identify for everybody what is the correct form. If we have to use for or we have to use to, okay? I will give you 1 minute and 30. So you can start now, guys. 1 minute and 30.
why do you give us a 1 minute and a half?
Oh, microphone on.
Why do you give us a minute and a half?
Oh, for you to check what is the correct form, if it is to or for, okay?
But in the screen, the exercise doesn't appear.
Oh, I'm really sorry. Okay, I had, yeah, my screen was frozen. But now, can you see it now?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so I will give you 1 minute and 30, or 1 minute, guys, because this is not too long. Okay. Okay, guys, I don't know if you are ready. You still have like 20 seconds. As you remember, we are going to use everybody for or to. In some examples, guys, you will see that, well, it will be easy to understand or to identify what is the correct word. But in some other examples, guys, maybe it could be kind of difficult. So let's see. We will start everybody with Brian. Okay, Brian, you will be my first volunteer in this opportunity. So please help me out. I'm sorry, Brian. Okay, help me out with example number 1. So what do you think is the correct sentence?
I feel it as maybe two.
Okay, what is the complete sentence?
Two. I
Complete
need
sentence.
my computer to send an important email.
Okay, pretty good. What about number 2, Juan?
It's for
4. Can you read the complete example?
call you doctor for an appointment.
Nice.
Right.
Okay, thank you. That's good. What about number 3, Marcela?
Okay. I'm on a diet to lose some weight.
Okay, I'm on a diet to lose some weight. Very good. Thank you. What about number 4, Javier?
Number 4. I'm going to go to the restaurant. Let me think. 4, teacher.
For book a table.
Let me,
Okay. Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Nice. Thank you for your effort. Sonia, welcome. Hello. Tell me, what is example number 5? Well, first of all, do you know about the topic? Yes?
Yes, I heard.
A little about it. Okay, good. So tell me, number 5, what is the correct sentence?
Is a tool for measuring the temperature.
Yeah, so what is the correct option?
4.
Okay, 4. I'm sorry. Very good, okay? Give me a second. Thank you. Okay, let's continue with example 6, well, from 6 to 10. So let's check what is the correct answer. What do you think, Javier? Example 6.
Example 6. Okay, do you have time for a cup of tea?
Okay, do you have time for a cup of tea? Nice job, thank you. What about number 7, 1?
I need some money to a taxi.
To a taxi?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's check example 8. What do you think, Sonia?
I need some money to take a taxi.
Okay, I need some money to take a taxi. What about number 9, Marcela?
This knife is used for cutting plastic.
Or cutting plastic, okay? And well, Brian, example 10 is yours. Oh, give me a second. So what do you think? Example 10.
Where I can go to buy the ingredients.
Where can I go to buy the ingredients? Okay. Well, thank you. Okay, in this moment, guys, we have to check our answers. And well, everybody, we have to identify which, well, first of all, we have to check how many are correct. Then we will check and read why they are incorrect or why do we have mistakes if we have. Everybody, in this opportunity, we have 8 out of 10. Why? Let's pay attention to our mistakes, okay? Let's see. Example 4, everybody, we have, I'm going to call the restaurant for book a table. No. The correct answer, everybody, is 2. Javier, tell me why 2 is the correct option or the correct answer.
Sorry, what?
Oh, can you read the explanation of example 4?
Okay. We can use to infinitive to say what is the purpose of our action or the reason why we do something.
Okay. As you can see, guys, in this opportunity, we are talking about the purpose of an action or the reason we do something. In this case, the reason we do something, because we are talking about, I am going to call the restaurant, and then we have the action, book a table. As you know, everybody, book is a noun, but it's also a verb. As a noun, everybody, it's, for example, give me a second. As a noun, everybody, okay, it is, well, this is similar to a book, so a book. But when we use book as a verb, everybody, we are talking about reservations. Okay, so in that case, we have to use it, or in this context, everybody, it's talking about a reservation. That's why this is not correct. So for book, no.
Okay.
It's correct to use to book, okay, to reserve, okay,
I
or to
didn't
make
know
a
that.
reservation. That's why, okay. I thought you got confused because of the word, but that's the meaning of that word,
Yeah,
okay?
thank you.
Then, you're welcome. Okay, then everybody, we have example 7. I need some money to a taxi. Not really. In this case, everybody, we have to use for. We can use for plus noun to say what is the purpose of an action or the reason why we do something. Guys, in this context, as you see, in all examples we use a noun. In that case, everybody, we have to use for. For example, an appointment. An appointment is not an action, it's a noun. We use for. Also, guys, let me see what is the other example. A cup of tea. A cup of tea, everybody, it's another, well, it's not an action, it's another noun. So as you see, we use for. And it's the same, everybody, when we use a taxi. A taxi, everybody, is not an action, it's a noun. I guess, everybody, we got confused with this example because example 7 and 8 are similar, right? Example 7 says, I need some money for a taxi, and example 8, I need some money to take a taxi. As you can see in that case, everybody, we mention or we use an action or we use a verb, take, okay? That's why in example 8 we use to, but in example 7 we only use a taxi, okay? Because we are talking about, because in example 7 we are just using a noun, but in example 8, we are using a verb, okay? And a verb in infinitive. Okay, so very good, guys. Even though we have around it, well, we only have 2 mistakes, so it was great, everybody. We did an amazing job. Let's continue working like that. Right now, everybody, we will continue with another activity. I don't know if we will have time to finish, but we will try to do our best in the examples that we have. Right now, everybody, pay attention to it. When we want to talk about the general purpose of use of something, we can use an infinitive or for plus gerund. As you can see here, I often use my phone to send photos. I often use my phone for sending photos. Actually, guys, it has a mistake because the correct example could be people often use their cell phone, okay? But you know that our examples are about infinitives and gerunds. Right now, guys, let's pay attention to these sentences. We have a lot of examples, but I guess we will do like 5. Please try to create the correct sentence. So what is the correct form that we have to use? For example, look at number 1, or at letter A, I'm sorry. This new photo software is useful for all my pictures. What do you think could be the right option? Or what is the correct verb? Huh, guys? What is the correct verb?
Organizing.
Okay, very good. For organizing. Let me see. Organizing. Brian, how do you know that we are using ing or gerunds?
Because before there were 4.
Okay, very good. Pretty good, okay, because we have 4. And then, you know, after 4, we use an ing. Okay, now everybody, let's continue with our next examples and pay attention to the word, if we use to or for. Let's see, Sonia, what is example letter B?
Sorry, teacher, repeat the question.
What is example B?
My professor read many journals in order to understanding the latest research.
Oh, in order to understanding.
Yes.
To understanding? Okay. Let's see. Let's continue with letter C. Marcela, what is the correct sentence?
An electronic translator is great for Getting definitions when you know a word.
But you don't know a word. Nice job. Example D, Juan.
Sorry. D, I need a better computer to run all of this new software.
To run all of this new software. Very
New
good.
software.
Thank you. What about letter E, Javier?
Sorry,
Oh, letter E.
letter E. Okay. Smartphones are great for communicating with my business partners when I'm not in the office.
Okay, that's good for communicating. Then we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 more examples. Let's do it together, guys. Students in my school are not allowed to, what is the correct option? Send or sending?
Send.
Send. Send.
Okay, send. I listen to people. So students in my school are not allowed to send text while they are in class. Okay, very good. I called my mom to, what is the correct option? To tell or to telling or for telling, I'm sorry.
Tell. To tell.
Okay, to tell, again, to people, that's good. Okay, one more example. We can't use a dictionary for look or for looking.
For looking.
Okay,
Looking.
for looking. Good job. For looking up words during a test. And yes, guys, that's not correct. We can't use a dictionary for looking up words during a test. Excellent. And we have the last example, everybody. Do you use a wireless connection for forget or forgetting?
Getting.
Okay, nice job. We use for getting. Nice. Excellent. Now, everybody, finish with our word, with our example, and look at this, everybody. Most of the examples are correct. So we have, in this opportunity, we have a 9 out of 10. It was better, but pay attention to it, everybody. We have one mistake. And tell me, guys, what is the correct answer?
Understand.
The base
To
form.
understand. That's right. Why, everybody? First of all, because we are using to, everybody, okay? That's the main reason, because we are using to, okay? Even though we are not talking about the use we give to this one, to this example, guys, or to this action, we are not talking about our purpose, but we are talking about the specific purpose of a person. In this case, my professor, okay? So guys, it was a great practice today. Well, all of you did an amazing job. We have some mistakes, but we can continue practicing, guys, on the platform and also on the internet. So let's continue doing your best. And give me a second. Let me share our next part of the class. Everybody, before we continue, remember that this is the last week of classes in this level. Okay, so please try to continue and finish with all the activities from the platform. Okay, today INSAFORP checked that you have at least 75% of progress in the activities on the platform. So this week, everybody, we have to finish with all the activities that we have on the platform. Okay, that's why let me show you our homework or our activities for today. Everybody, please go to the platform and complete the activities that we have on the screen. We will start on activity 5.0, and then everybody, we will continue with well, with all these activities. And tomorrow, guys, we have to finish at least on activity 5.2.3, which is a gerunds practice. This is, everybody, what we have for today. Please continue working on it. Remember, it's mostly most of the activities that we have on the platform this unit, everybody, are about infinitive, gerunds, and also inventions. So everybody, let's continue practicing talking about inventions, and I hope you can finish with all the activities. If you already finished with your activities on the platform, guys, let me tell you that if you don't have your certificate yet, you will have it. I don't remember if it will be on Wednesday or Thursday, okay? If you finish with 100% of the progress of the activities. If you already finished, but if you haven't, please do it, guys. Try to finish during this week, okay? Guys, it was a pleasure to be with you in today's class to help you with this topic. I guess this topic is kind of easy, but you did an amazing job, guys, okay? And all of us practice in a great way. So guys, thank you for being here. I hope to see you in our next class, okay? Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye. Soon.